Let's turn now to a high school English class in Salt Lake City, Utah, where Sue Southam, the teacher, has been working with her students on a study of Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter. The novel, set in colonial America, examines a tragic and illicit love affair between a minister named Arthur Dimmesdale and one of his parishioners, Hester Prynne, the heroine of the novel. The class has been discussing the novel for several days, and in today's lesson they are doing an analysis of Dimmesdale's character. As you watch, again compare what you're seeing to what you recall from the first two segments.
Okay, in your logs, jot down some of the important characteristics of that description. What's the diction that strikes you as being essential to understanding Dimmesdale's character? And how do you see him, okay? If you were going to draw a portrait of him, what would you make sure you had? Okay, just write some things, or draw a picture if you'd like. Any other pictures in your mind of this man? If you were directing, Mike, if you were directing a film of The Scarlet Letter?
I don't have a person in mind. I guess characteristics like, I don't know, 5'10", short, well-groomed hair, well-dressed. He looks really nervous, inexperienced, guilty. He has a look on his face. He's always nervous.
He's got a guilty look on his face. His lips always trembling, always shaking.
Not very sure about himself.
Yeah.
That's about the same, sweating really bad. He's always going like this.
Always what?
He always has his hanky.
Actually, we don't see him mopping his brow, but we do see him doing what? What's the action? Do you remember? If go to the text, it's holding his hand over his heart, although he's as though he's somehow suffering some pain.
Wireframe glasses or something.
Wireframe glasses?
I don't know why, just because like...
He's kind of like a nerd type guy.
A nerd type guy.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox's dad back when he went back in the...
With the short pants and everything.
Yeah, George McFly.
Yeah, George McFly in his younger years. But at the same time, you know, somebody said, I don't know if it was somebody in this class or somebody in another class, when we had all these pictures up here on the wall, that, you know, I characterized this woman, and I guess it was one of the guys in fourth period. It couldn't have been somebody in here. Said, well, she was sure worth it. So, you know, worth risking your immortal soul for, you know, this whole thing. I mean, obviously, if she's sinned, so is he, right? And if she was worth it, don't we also kind of have to see him as somehow having been worthy of her risking her soul for this? Right?
Got a good personality.
What? Maybe he's got a good personality? He apparently, you know, is a spellbinding preacher, right? Who really can grab the crowd.
His eyes.
Listen to his eyes.
Those brown melancholy eyes. Yeah, those brown melancholy eyes, absolutely. Okay, let's count off rows here. This is a number 1, number 2, number 1. Ones are Dimmesdale's, 2s are Hester's. Follow me? So in your head, say your name.
What?
Ones are Dimmesdale's, 2s are Hester's. Okay, in your head, say your name. Now, in your log, Dimmesdale's. I want you to write in Dimmesdale's voice. Okay, in Dimmesdale's voice. What's going on in your mind behind these public words? What are the private thoughts? The internal monologue, right? You follow? The private thoughts here. In his voice, so like in first person. Between every line, there's another line. Go back and look at the speech and think, what am I thinking behind this? And write down those thoughts, okay? Hester's. While he's speaking, what's going on in your mind? What are you thinking? What are the responses going on in Hester's private soul? Okay, now this shouldn't be too hard to group. I want every Dimmesdale to find a Hester never be Hester to find a Dimsdale, okay? And then partner up with another partnership, right? So we've got groups of 4, please. So we've got 2 Dimsdales and 2 Hesters in each group. Quickly turn to face each other. We've got a Dimsdale and a Hester right here. Now, here's what I want you to do, okay? Start with a Dimsdale, okay? Start with a Dimsdale and read what you've written. And then get a Hester to respond. And then get a Dimsdale, and then get a Hester. And just go around, okay? Starting with the Dimsdale, and then a Hester, and then a Dimsdale, and then a Hester. Okay, just do that much. Okay, let's hear All right, let's hear it.
Okay, my response for Dimsdale's, the only thing I could think of was, oh God. I mean, in front of all these people, I couldn't think of anything else. And then all of a sudden, I felt kind of like a sudden pause and him praying for forgiveness. And then here she comes with her powerful speech.
Okay, I wrote, good man, huh? You should confess then. My peace is made, you must make yours. No, I can't. Is it love and tenderness that keeps me silent? No, it is your choice to confess. My silence shows my love, my shame, my defiance. I have open humiliation. You have your own heart and soul to live with. I have courage and I suppose love. That is what keeps me silent.
So all he says is, oh God, help me, huh? And she just unleashes this barrage. Okay, let's hear what Hester has to say about it.
Okay, I just put, no, I will never tell. You can trust me and just don't give yourself away. But she does love him and she just doesn't want, even though her life is ruined, she doesn't want him to be ruined too.
Notice how different that is from what Nicole, how Nicole sees it. Nicole sees her angry, don't you? Right?
Well,
And kind of resentful.
Kind of mixed, she loves him, but so therefore she's not going to say anything. But she's really upset that he doesn't say anything. She thinks that he should make his own peace for it. She could hide hers, but he could hide his. And I guess she doesn't really see that as very fair.
Doug.
The discussion of both Dimsdale's and Hester's feelings continue, with several of the students describing their perceptions. Sue then moves the lesson toward closure.
No, okay. Now, who haven't we talked about in these 2 chapters? Her husband. And we have to get to him tomorrow, don't we? So will you please take a really close look again tonight at the description of him at the beginning of chapter 3, and then think about why Hester makes this contract with him at the end of chapter 4, okay? And no further reading assignment for tonight unless you feel moved to do that rather than study for your finals, okay? You put the desks back. Thank you very much.